feel like I'm giving Rosie Perez on Soul Train right now. Did y'all miss me? I'm back. I thought I'd get my face actually together for this video. What up? It's Leeya Makes Noise, your favorite Debbie art tuber, here to give you updates. Come around with the card and be like, hey, how you doing? I hope you still are cool with, hanging out. Okay, I just want to get into it. I'm probably not going to even really edit this video that much. My goal is to not edit the video so much that I can just, put it on the YouTube, get it out there. I have so much going on, per usual, but I'm also really excited about this coming year. Okay. I really wanted to do a video where I would go through the year of January, February, March, April, break down all the different things that happened. And let me see if I can just roughly. I'm gonna use my old calendar. We used the old calendar, my 2023 calendar. So January last year. And I'm gonna use, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to my Google calendar, because this is my carbon copy. I didn't really write in this. It's my goal next year to actually pencil things in. I stay having goals that I say out loud and I immediately go, I don't know if that's gonna happen. But hey, it's a goal. Okay. So January, what does it look like I was doing? Augsburg install. So interesting. That was the wooden piece, the universal change piece that I really feel like sparked a whole new era in my own artistry. Hopefully I have editing time to put it up right here on screen. But yeah, it was my first time combining design, painting, wood carving, and doing an installation piece. And I really feel like everything that came out of the rest of the year in terms of my fine art practice as an artist happened from that show. Everybody was on their A game. It was me and 8 other Black women who had pieces in the show, and we did an artist talk for it. It was, I don't know, it was just a really good time. And like I said, a lot of stuff from that bumped off. I also, design-wise, got to work with one of my long-term people I follow, Shameless Maya, on her new brand platform. She hasn't publicly announced it yet, so I'm just gonna hold off, but it was just an honor to work with her on branding in any capacity, because I've been watching her since she first cut her hair when she was living in New York, so years and years. I also had a mini show at Milkweed. I'm seeing I had Milkweed is a coffee shop here in Minneapolis, so I had a little coffee shop exhibition. I actually really loved having that too. There was something about having your art outside of a gallery space where anybody, the community, can just come and see it, that I really enjoyed, because a lot of people would DM me. I would get a random follow and somebody would DM me saying hey, I follow your work and I really like it. I saw your work here. Or even just friends being hey girl, I saw your stuff there. Even before I read the plaque, I knew it was you. So there's something, I have dreams that are I want to take my art to the next level and be, when I say the next level, there are certain fine art spaces and things that is my goal that I will get to in this video, is my goal for the coming year to get even further into. That being said, there's something about, I always still want to have a leg in accessibility. When I think of Keith Haring and how at the height of his art career, he was just still like, let me make something cheap for the girls. And it made the fine art world kind of mad because it was like, oh, anybody can buy this stuff. But it's like, yo, like, I don't care just about, obviously I want collectors to buy the stuff that I've put hours and hours of like intensive work into. But that being said, I don't want to ever be at a place where I'm not still in some way accessible. Even if it's like one day I'm just making prints that people can buy. But I don't know. I'm gonna ramble in that point, so I'm just gonna pause it right there. But that was what happened in February. So February, for this calendar, the theme for this was Black Love. It's funny re-looking through these too, because I'm like, the announcement at the end of this. But February, what did I do? Well, I see my partner was on tour for half the month, so I was probably at home sad. I was probably happy for like a week, and then I was sad. What did I do? Oh, my sisters visited in February. Oh, that's good on them. Visiting Minnesota in February is not the move. But they came and visited me in February, and it was a really good time having just them, like us, just having sister time, and we just ate good food. I had like an itinerary planned for them, like, oh, let's go, to this museum or go eat at this nice restaurant. And they got here, and it's something about like the comfort of my home, which I understand because I'd be hermited here too. They didn't want to do nothing. They just wanted to sit, and we just like sat and like watched TV and chilled, and I don't know. It was still like what we all needed. Like it was like a resting point that we all needed. That looks like that's the main thing that happened. I think I did one artist talk at Augsburg College, which is the place that I had the exhibition. But other than that, yeah, I think that was February. March. What did I do in March? It looks like a lot of design work. It looks like, yeah, I was doing some design work. Moxie Staycation. I don't know what that is. Oh, I did a little influencer, a little travel influencer thing where I went and stayed at the Moxie. I had a Houston White shoot, which means I think that was I did a modeling shoot in Target for a local brand, Black-owned brand, which was, an exciting thing. It was the first time I got to go into like a store and see like something I've modeled, like see myself in the store in Target. Not me. Yeah, it looks like I just had like mainly in March a lot of design work, a lot of illustration work, not so much anything public. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And April. Oh, one big thing also that I'm somehow not talking about. In the midst of the first half of this year, I was in the process of trying to buy my house. So, yeah, like it makes sense that March looks like I was just grinding. Like I wasn't really going out and doing any big project things. I was just doing client work because I was trying to save up money to A, pay taxes, and then B, also close on the house. So it says grant day, submit grants. I don't even know what grants I submitted that day. I probably can't get them. And then it looks like again, April was a lot of work. I'm just seeing like deadline after deadline. Noisemakers capsule collection. I did launch a capsule collection in that. Like for my design company, I wanted to test dealing with apparel and textiles. And It went okay. I think that my price point on that was honestly too high, especially for I feel like I would have been able to justify those prices in hindsight better if it was more of a, like, say I was sitting there hand printing, but because it was like a print to go, I was trying to figure out the right pricing where I would actually still make something from it. But yeah, like when you do like print on demand, the printing on demand people are the one who are making the bulk of the money from that. So it's still up. Like if you wanted to purchase something from that shop, you can right now. I just haven't really been putting that much energy into promoting that because I'm already on to the next thing. And for me, honestly, it was mostly an experimental move so that I could learn about, yeah, like the process of that. Let me see, anything else? I did a interview with PBS, my local PBS, that month in April. So that's exciting. And then towards the next month, let's just fast forward. Child. In May, this is probably my favorite illustration from this calendar. It's very cute. In May, I started the month in a residency. And I believe that my closing, yeah, okay, so to backtrack, April 28th, we closed on our home. I remember our date was actually, our ideal close date was a few days before that, and then everything, like the things that come up, especially when it's not like we had the money to just like throw it on the table. Hey, we bought the house. It's like we qualified for a bunch of grants. We had all these different programs. So our closing ended up getting pushed to the 28th. I was real stressed about it even getting pushed further into May because I knew I would start in May doing the residency. And yeah, so it looks like other than things that were actively paying me, I pushed every sort of like project or arts focused thing until post our home close date. That makes sense because we was trying to just get it done. I'm still, again, that was like, I went into this year being like, if I do nothing else but buy this house, the house that we were living in, that we were asked to buy, to give background context, if you have never watched a video of mine, and it's your first time just like being exposed, yeah, like my partner and I are both self-employed artists. He's a musician. You could probably hear him right now because I could hear him practicing for his show. But we are self-employed artists, and we have been renting the home that we're in for about a year and a half, and the landlords asked us whether we wanted to buy it, and they were like, we won't put it on the market, we're gonna make it super easy. We found a program to help us, walk us through the process. We just, like, I don't know, it was like all the things worked out in our favor in such a beautiful way. It wasn't an easy process, but it was probably not it's it wasn't an easy process, but it was probably like just like the most smooth it could have gone for anybody in our like income bracket / what we do, because banks don't really like self-employed people. I don't know if anybody's told anybody that, but yeah, banks don't really like self-employed people. There was a few videos that I recorded before where I was like, I don't know how this is about to go, because it's very clear that the underwriters kept coming back and being like, who is this? What do y'all make? Like, how do y'all make money? What is this? But even with all that said, everything had to go right, and it did, and we closed on the house at the end of April. And then, so yeah, it looks like I literally was just like, anything my own creativity related, oh my God. So you breaking it down, but I'm really scared that the audio on this is about to be woo. Go on, baby. Do what what you gotta do. Okay. I'm just gonna talk louder. So May, I pushed all my art things too. So I did my first indoor mural at a space called Render Free. It's a co-working space that sadly already is closed. And I don't even think it, like my mural after I finished it, got that much public time. I have photos and everything of it, so I'll put them up here. But yeah, it's sad. Like I feel like maybe like a month after I finished the mural, um, yeah, it closed. I think that it was just like hard getting people. They had moved from another location, and it was hard getting their original base to move with them. So it's sad. But I think that the owner is doing well. What else did I do? Yeah, so this is grind time still. I went from buying the house to like right back into my own art grind time. So APM Studios, it sounds like I had like a design contract with them. I did a residency. This was the big deal. I did a printmaking residency, and it was my first time being able to print make on like a scale that I've like lithography, stone lithography, screen printing. Um, it was my first time being able to really like seep into printmaking in the way that I used to just be. I was always like a painter and printmaker in my undergrad, and I've maintained my painting practice because it's just way easier to. But printmaking requires a whole studio, and so yeah, like it was really good. It really resparked my passion for printmaking, and it was during that time I actually thought about the steps, my steps moving forward, like the ways that I could be thinking about connecting all these different things I'm interested in, like textiles and home decor, wallpaper, and how printmaking is actually the undercurrent of the answer to, yeah, like what I had been. I just forgot that that was what I was supposed to be. That was supposed to be like a core passion, a core practice that I should be focusing on. So I also juried the NDSU, North Dakota State University's senior exhibition for that. And that was also like I was like, it took me like 2.5 hours to decide between all the student work, because I just know how big how big of a deal those awards are for people, and how reaffirming they are for people. Like there was apparently one of the prizes I gave out was to somebody who wasn't even confirmed as an art major. Like they were somebody who was kind of like indecisive on whether it was something they should pursue, and I'm just like, yes, like continue pursuing. They were like architecture, it was like continue with that, but so much of the art that they made was way more interesting because of the fact that they also were into architecture. So I don't know. I'm a big believer in pushing people to experiment, try different things, because that's what I do too. I was also in pre-pro for my first TV series. I was directing The Mask. And so literally I got back from our residency, and then the third week of May was pre-production. So we were casting, we were out there, like I was like getting props ready. I was doing the design for the backdrop and like the stage design. Um, it was a lot. It was so much. This is actually wild to see, like in context, all of this stacked up. And then Art World after pre-pro, the Art World weekend, which is the biggest arts festival I think in the U.S., like Open Studios Arts Festival in the U.S. And so it was my first time participating as an artist in Art World. I probably had, I don't know, I probably saw like over the weekend about 3,000 people come through my studio alone. It's huge. It's a huge thing. I sold a lot of art and prints and things, so that was great because I was really feeling like I wanted to clear out my space to have space for the next thing. And then in between Art World, I had one day And then we went to Mexico. We went to Mexico City for almost 2 weeks. And that was amazing. I don't think I made a travel video for that. I definitely documented it. But I didn't make a travel vlog or anything for that. I can, again, put some quick clips up right now. But it was amazing. And now we're into June. May was wild. Because I would say, like, I technically, like, almost right before May, closing the house, and in that, started production on a show, did a residency, went to Mexico. That's a lot. June, the cookout. I don't think I even went to a cookout the entire June, and that is a travesty in itself. So June, director chat. It looks like in June I was still planning for the mass production shoot. It looks like Rosette. Yeah, it looks like I was still planning for that. I did a bunch of Juneteenth events, June vending. I was doing like some design work. I have blocked out on here for Cannes Lion, and it was because I like spent a lot of time putting together an application for this diversity collective thing, and I was real sad I didn't get it. And I was like, Leeya, this should probably be your last year applying for it. And I think there is like an age cutoff, and I think so. I didn't get it, and I was like real sad about it. But it was like my positive manifesting thinking where I blocked out those dates just in case. I did get it, but it's still in here. Maybe I'll apply again next year if I can still qualify, but if I can't, it's whatever. I will go to Cannes as a director. How about that? And it won't be in the ad space. It will be in the film space. That's what I'm just going to put into the universe right now. I had an exhibition open in Mirror Passage. So that was one of the first exhibitions I got placed with my PF Studios program. And that was also really cool. I think I also in June had an exhibition at the downtown library. July. Child, what did I do in July? July, I went to Duluth at the top end, which is like a few hours north of Minneapolis. It's like a really, it's like the quickest place to go if you're like, I really feel like being by like the coast. There's no coast around here, but I really feel like being by the coast because it's a city that overlooks Lake Superior. It's really hilly and beautiful. It kind of really feels like the East Coast, like if you think like Maine. And so we went and stayed there. I think that was like another influencer. That was another influencer travel thing. There's a place called Inger's Lost that reached out to me randomly and was like, do you want to come for a free stay here? And so my partner and I went out and did that, and that was a good time. I think, yeah, it looks like July was a lot of design stuff, but then the production of the mask actually happened middle of July. That's a whole other video. It was a lot. I learned a lot. I'm happy it happened. And I'm pretty happy with the results of it. There's things that I would change now, or yeah, there's just ways I would have did things a little better. But that being said, I am proud of the results, and it looks incredible. And honestly, that was the bulk of my job, making sure that it looks incredible and that it flows well. And if you want to watch it, I'll link it below. All the episodes are out now. They're all up on the website, so you can go and watch all the episodes. It aired on the CW locally, so that also was a big deal. And then after the production, Beyonce Renaissance. And I don't know if you follow me on socials, but I made a custom pattern dress. Again, this is all hinting at what's happening next year, but I made like my own fabric, basically. Like I illustrated a pattern design and then got it printed on fabric and then made a dress out of that. And that's what I wore to Renaissance. One of my closest old friends came into town. And so we all had a Black gay time out in at Renaissance. It was incredible. Like, again, like this year it's been so challenging, but also so rewarding. It's like been so foundation setting. Foundational is, I think, the word. Another reoccurring thing that I hadn't even talked about, and I think was important in this process, that I finally dedicated myself to a schedule of therapy for the first time in my life. Like, I've always like tiptoed into therapy, and like I will do it for like maybe like a month or two, and then like it'll end up fizzling off. But yeah, I was pretty consistent this past year with going to my therapist. We've worked through a lot. Um, and the whole home buying process, there's no way I would have been as um, level headed and prepared and having the tools I had if it weren't for her during this whole year. So then in in August, this is helpful. August, maybe second favorite. That's like low key me. I'm now realizing that's low key me. Like, it wasn't supposed to be high key me, but it is low key me. Like, low key me with Ice Spice hair. Back when I had well, I would claim that I had Ice Spice's hair before Ice Spice had her hair. I was out here, I had orange hair out here when nobody else had orange hair. Everybody, like, well, I remember going to LA and everybody was like, oh my God, you have like orange hair. And then, like, I would say, like 6 months later, Ice Spice came out. I was like, been there, done that. I've already had orange hair. But August. Top of August, I juried my first art fair. It was the Powderhorn Art Fair. It's a pretty big art fair here in Minneapolis. It's like at a really nice park. And then I went to Florida for my college friend's bachelorette party. That was such a fun time. Honestly, I was worried about going because I thought that it was going to be like a big group of people, and I only really know her and kind of her twin sister. But I was like, nobody else really from our undergrad is going, and we also are the type of, when you have like the homegirl who you can just like check in with every once in a while. It's like I might talk to you maybe twice a year, and or like maybe it's like I only talk to you when we both happen to be in each other's city or whatever. But you dive right back into being friends. That's the type of friendship we have. So I was a little worried about going, but I had a lot of fun. Other than the fact that Florida was so hot. It was so hot. Like, I think I got like sun sick or something. Especially I don't really drink that much. Like, I do maybe like, maybe like 3 or 4 nights out of the week I drink wine. I like a glass. I was drinking the whole time. Like I was 22. And I don't know about you, but I was not feeling 22. um, so yeah, like other than that part, it was a good time. It was only a few of us and we all vibed really well. Like I really loved her other friends. Yeah, we just all had a really good time. And then in August I can't believe it was August. Wow, it's been a minute actually. So in August, mid-August is when I um, brought in my first intern, Manu. Manu is amazing, and I met her at the Augsburg, like back in February, January, when I had the exhibition at Augsburg, and she was a senior then. Um, she was a senior in the art school, and like when I came to the classroom to talk, I remember her asking a bunch of questions. Um, And like she reached out to me, I would say like a week after that, and we were in communication. And obviously I was like, look, I was in the middle of still trying to buy the house and all the things that were going on. I didn't realize it was August that Manu started. Wow. So it's been August, August, September, October, November, December. So it's been 5 months. Wow. It's been way longer than I realized that she started. I should probably have had a note of that. But yeah, it's been a really good, rewarding time in that sense of like realizing that I do have a lot to teach, and also having help from someone who's also just as creatively minded. Okay, that seems like that was the biggest crux. There was other things that went on in August, but nothing that interesting, honestly. September, but yeah. We went on a family cabin trip with Dex's fam. Let's see. Let's see. September. It doesn't look like anything else really happened in September. I think it was like exhibitions and stuff. Some art stuff, some design stuff. But yeah, September seemed. Oh, my shirt for the Twins dropped. The Twins is the baseball team here. I did like an illustration for them. So that's what happened in September. October. This year is wild. That's October. That's me. That's your girl, because it's my birth month. As a Libra. October. Beginning of October, I did my first outdoor large-scale mural in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. It wasn't a nightmare. No, I don't want to say it was a nightmare. It was a learning experience. It was, because I'm proud of how it turned out. I did it in 6 days. It's 6 days blocked on my calendar. I needed 2 weeks for the scale of what that thing was. That thing was huge. It was a monolithic. It was in a very center part of the city. It was a learning experience. And I'm not scared of heights. I think I'm reasonably cautious. You know? Like I'm not buddies with heights. I can handle heights, you know? I have a respect for heights. And so painting up on the scaffolding when it came to the higher parts, not my fave. So yeah, I learned a lot. I do want to do more murals. I now will have way more parameters around that and what that would mean, and know to take off way more time. In between that, then the rest of October, I was like working on some design stuff, some fun design stuff. I feel like this is getting boring. I hope this isn't getting boring. Oh, and then I had my exhibition with PF Studios, which was a big deal because it was my first time exhibiting there. PF, Public Functionary, is the gallery that started PF Studios, and they were already a very established gallery. So I got into the PF Studio exhibition and really experimented with the piece I put in there. And then I went into this. It's so weird that this is October because in my brain this is like 2 weeks ago. All of this stuff, and then from there, paint study, Eric, blah 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 blah. I'm like, what did else I just? Oh, okay. So I helped organize a BIPOC sci-fi and fandom convention, like a nerd convention, basically, for us Black and brown folks. In my art studio building, I was the volunteer coordinator, so that definitely took up a lot of my time on the second half. It was not the role for me. Not Coordinators are supposed to be good at organizing, scheduling, like keeping things afloat. That's not me. That's not my skill set. That being said, it was still fun to be a part of. And then November, what happened in November? November has been just like design work. It was the actual convention itself, because it took me, the convention took up a month of my time, straight up. Yeah. And November is when I also started working on, so we're past October now. Here's November, Thanksgiving, all of that goodness happened. We hosted a Friendsgiving, and like I said, did the convention, and then we're in December now, so the top part of December. So this isn't. Do I know how to fold and flip something? Here's December for the first calendar. Very cute, very good. So we're in December now. I found out in November that I won my first big art grant. It's the MCAD Jerome Fellowship. And so that comes with a $12,000 grant. It comes with like access to national art critics. It comes with exhibition space at the end of next year. It comes with basically MCAD resources. Like MCAD is the arts college here. It comes with a lot. It's my reaffirmation that I am on the right path as a artist, as an individual artist. It's my first oh girl. Like, for context, you could probably go back on this channel and watch videos where I was like, I really wanna, I have this big old gap in my resume where because I've been so focused on advertising, being a creative in advertising, I don't really have exhibitions or work. And so when I submit for things, it's just like the CVs, just like with advertising, there's a certain portfolio you gotta have. With your own artwork, there's a certain CV when there's when you're trying to reach for a certain level. I want to be at the level where I'm in established museums and established institutions. And so in order to get there, it's it was a goal of mine in 2020. I would say 2021 specifically. In 2020, I was more focused on prints and arts goods, and I was more focused on that. But I would say this past year has been really when it started to spark off. Not only because of the getting into the PF Studios program, that's been huge. I just really wanted to firmly root myself more into the fine art world here, into the arts world here, the arts community here. And so I'm also part of a Black art collective called Rojo Collective. And that's an age diverse collective, which I really appreciate being a part of. And I don't know, I just I feel so much gratitude for even looking back on when I first left my job and why. It wasn't just so that I can run Noisemakers design, which I love doing. But again, that's just more work for other people. It's using my creativity to bring to life things for other people. I'm now starting to shift more firmly into the phase where I could actually be sustained by making my own art for myself, and whatever shape that comes out into. So that's exciting. I'm gonna give myself a piece of fudge. So I won this fellowship. Yesterday was our first day meeting in person. There's only 4 people who get it. And it's a prestigious award to get. But child, not me about to cry. That being said, next year is gonna be whole other level. Whole other level. And then what also is announcing, we got the next edition of the calendar. Now, this isn't the final edition. This is a proof copy that right now is not, it's not what we're going with, but the artwork is final. Just to give you a hint, and it is Zodiac themed. It's called Icons of the Zodiac 2024. And Tracy, once again, has written poetry for each month, inspired by each zodiac sign. And we went through and we found Black femmes who are, under each sign. We have their birthdays represented in here. We have special, dates represented in here. And then for each month, we picked and selected who we wanted to showcase. It was hard too, because some of the people who I was like, oh, they're like, that's a Libra. Like, I really wanted Serena first for my month, but Serena isn't October Libra, and we had to like make a decision on what month would be represented by what sign, because most signs they overlap, and they overlap pretty. I don't want to say like equally. It's always like very clear which month has more of which sign, but yeah, when we made the choice on how to hierarch it, sometimes it was like, oh, that person isn't isn't the October Libra, so we're gonna still write their birthdays in here, but they won't be represented in the imagery. It's happening. Go to the site on LeeyaMakesNoise.com. It's linked below. There's so much there's just so much that is coming up, and that with this fellowship I have and my plans for moving forward, I'm just really excited with the Loud Strokes thing, and then also Loud Pigment, which is something I think I've talked about here, where I was experimenting with textiles, and I'm going to be adding like handmade printmaking technique wallpaper, like basically luxury wallpaper. Like, it's this thing that people be paying 20 grand for installs in their homes. I'm going to be doing that in the house that we bought, which is a 100-year-old home. So I'm going to be finding ways to document that, and hopefully I will launch that next year. So there's a lot. I'm doing a lot. So excuse me, because I haven't really had time to sit down and really talk about it or process it. And I already did a lot this year. Like, who could say that in like 1 year? Like, I think I probably easily had 10 exhibitions this year in different contexts. I directed a 5-part series. I did a large scale 20-foot high, 40 feet across mural. I bought a house. I did a few residencies. I traveled to Mexico. Like, all these things are things that individually one person will probably be like, I did that this year. And so that's the thing I try to have context for. Even when I'm like, oh, financially I'm strapped, or like, oh, like I see that this person is doing that. I have to remind myself, like, girl, some of the stuff you do in a month, like, a lot of people would be happy to say they did in a year. And that's a flex. And a real flex, and I feel a lot of gratitude for it. But yeah, there's a lot that gets sacrificed for it as well. Like, I would say this year has been the least social year outside of like COVID. I would say even in some ways COVID was more social because it kind of forced people to communicate with each other. But I've been more flaky when it comes to like, I've been in more hermit mode. I just been in grind hermit mode. And yeah, my journey has been letting go of the guilt I would have felt in the past for that. And I'm trying to make sure the balance is still like showing up for my friends when I need to or when they ask me to. But also being okay with the fact that apparently in my human design, I'm entering the era where I'm supposed to just, and each year I feel that more and more as I get deeper into my 30s. Oh, that was one thing I did miss, my birthday month. I had a bomb birthday party where I made gumbo and beignets, and I had friends from high school coming to town, and they stayed with us, and it was just like so good to host that and like have all my different communities come together and vibe and have a lit party. It was just fun. But yeah, I'm entering that era where I'm supposed to be. I'm really supposed to be holding my craft, and I haven't felt the need. In the past, I used to make things that always feel the need, like the second I make it, post it, or like the second I want to do something, talk about it publicly. And I've not been in that space. I've been in the space of, or even like the second I have an idea, just go out and do it. I've been more in the space of no, sit and really figure out how you want to do this. And don't let nobody pressure you to move it faster or anything like that. Like really sit and figure out the core of how you want this to come about. And so there's a few things that, yeah, there's a few things already in my brain brewing for that for next year. I just feel so much gratitude. And I just feel like the vision is there. I'm gonna need the money to catch up though. That's the only thing. The vision there. The skill is there. The craft is there. Where's my rich white lady who wanna like, patron me? Where's my, like, I feel like it would be like a lady named like Vivian or Suzanne. Like, where's she at? Who want to write me a blank check for like $200K? I'm like, go on, honey, make the thing. I'm like, thank you, Vivian. You got a front seat. Like that's what I need. I need my patron. That's the goal. And so I keep saying I'm about to wrap this up and then going further into detail about stuff. But one other thing, undercurrent of this whole year too, is looking into business structure, finances, looking like the house buy-in forced me to look at my finances in a way I never did before. And that set me up to also forecast ahead and think about how to be strategic with finances and looking into things like business grants and looking into things like alongside artist grants. I just won an artist grant. I've yet to win a business grant. But I feel like it's going to be harder for noisemakers because there's already a lot of graphic design companies. There's already a lot of creative studios. But with Loud Pigment, I see clearly, especially for like startup grants and things, I see that actually being more unique. And so I can see the potential of, like, I just basically been applying for stuff like that and really trying to figure out my business structure on the front end before I press go on any of that. I'm rambling now. Thank y'all for watching. If you have kept up with this whole video, this has been a bigger catch up. I really am probably not going to edit this down too much. So you're going to hear all my ooms and uhs and all that. And like all the things I'm typically very insecure about, honestly, when it comes to how I speak. But y'all going to hear it. Because I really want to make sure that I get this video out, and I know that if I get into the choppy cutty mode of things, it's not gonna come out. It's gonna be on the edit room floor like everything else I've recorded in the past like 4 or 5 months. I've recorded videos for y'all. They just are in my phone or on the edit room floor. And the only edit I'm gonna do with this is making sure I'm overlaying important clips on top of what I'm talking about, because Yeah, otherwise this would be boring. I'm sorry. But you need visual context. So that is it. I forecasted for next year is the only word I'm gonna move forward with is I think I said last year my thing was abundance, and I definitely got abundance. Um, Ascension. That's the word. Ascension. Taking things to the next level. I feel like I got abundance. I got creative abundance. I got opportunity abundance. I got skill abundance. I did not really get financial abundance. So like the part of ascendance is like connecting that to the financial slash like really making things to in order to take anything to the next level, most of the time you need a budget for it, right? And so that ascendance is the next is my term for next year. I want to go up on my ledge. That's why my human design, I think I'm a 6'2". I'm supposed to go up on my ledge in my 30s. I'm now firmly in my 30s. It's time for me to go up on my ledge and like be up there for my like second half, you know. Be up there, making my stuff, taking view of the land, being on my ledge. And then third uh phase of my human design apparently is like coming down from the ledge and sharing, like role model. I think it's like role model hermit is my my trait or whatever. And like the person, so basically it's like first half you're out, you're wandering, you're exploring new things, you're getting into new things, you're trying new things, and then running away from it. And then you're just like, it feels like you're just like collecting. Very true. And then and it might seem like to outsiders like, girl, what is you doing? Like if you don't pick a focus, and then you're also more social, you're like a social butterfly, people are gravitating towards you, and right when everybody's gravitating to you, you're like, actually, I'm gonna climb up, I'm a ledge, I'm just gonna be alone. I got all these. I feel like Ariel in her little cave with all her collectible things right now. I'm not gonna lie, that's what it feels like. Like I feel like I'm like, ooh, I got this skill, I got this skill, I'm doing this, I'm trying this, I got my foot in there, got my toe there. And now I just want time to just really seep into that without the pressure of feeling like I need to share along or make anything for anybody else or like keep people updated on what's happening with it. Like I do want people to know, but only when I feel ready to show those things to the world. And so like that's second phase of my human design. And then third phase is the coming off the ledge to share with the world. So the role model part apparently is supposed to kick into play. And so like the person who walked me through, her name is Anna Lee, and she walked me through the human design. She's an artist as well, and she's like runs a residency. And that was my first residency that she offered me. And during that, she was like this is the human design where like if you're a human who's going to be like known for anything or like quote unquote get famous, might not be like mainstream famous, but like be at the top of your career, it's likely going to be in your like mid 40s 50s, like 40s 50s, like when you enter the arena of leaving the ledge. And it was really validating to hear that because I have always like intuitively known that. There's been a few moments in my life where I felt like I was rubbing shoulders with like having a lot of I don't know, just like I always am rubbing shoulders. Like I'm one connection or two connections away from Beyonce, from Issa Rae, from all these people who are very known and famous. And I've done projects one or two connections away. But I've always just felt like, oh, I'm going to get to those people and collab with on that level and make work on that level. But I've always known that it was never going to be while I was very, very young. And I'm very grateful for that because I feel like most of the time, most people don't do that level of responsibility and that level of access well when you're very young. It's very hard to, without like having a very, very stable background and family system and all that. And so I feel like if I will ever get to that point, then it's going to be when I'm more ready for it. And I've already worked through the way I feel about things on my end while I'm still here. And I don't want to make it like a tier thing, but it's just like, I know I can't handle a $2 million production as a director right now. I can't. Not right now. I'm not saying I won't ever. I know I will be able to one day. I don't even want to handle a $2 million production right now. I want to be able to hone and craft and figure out my skills in all these different arenas right now, so that when that is handed to me, I'm ready for it. So that's all I'm saying. And so, yeah, I let go of the shame of feeling weird about being in this climbing on my ledge hermit mode, because that's just where I'm supposed to be right now. And the girls that get it. And the ones that don't. All right. That being said, thank you for watching. If you watched this whole thing, oh my God, you a real one. All right. See ya maybe next year. Maybe I'll have an update for you at the end of the year. Maybe I'll forecast, like, I don't know. I don't want to promise that. I'm just going to say, see you next year if you don't see me again. If you do see me again on this channel, well then, good. All right, bye. This is Appa. Say hi. Say hi to Appa. He's freaking out right now. Normally he's pretty calm, but he has 2 times a day where he freaks out, and this happens to be one. Say hi to people. Appa, you not gonna say hi to people? What about for me? Okay, no. All right. Yeah, so that's a development, and that's the reason why this video is kind of delayed. I recorded the top half of this video, I want to say like 2 weeks ago, and then we made the decision to get that one, and I was like, that's the perfect way to end this. That and other updates. At the time when I talked about the new Zodiac calendar, I only had like proof copies, but we now have the physical copies. So we have 2 versions. We have a saddle stitch. Look at her, beautiful. Iconic, very well made. All the paper is very soft and luxurious feeling. This is me trying to sell it. It's very luxurious and nice, and you should totally buy it. But yeah, I'm very happy with how it turned out. So this is saddle stitch. For me, I'm a saddle stitch girly when it comes to calendars and stuff. Like, I use them more as decorative devices versus, everyday penciling in stuff. Like, I don't really ever write on my calendars, though there are people who do. So we got a spiral for those people who prefer to flip through, like actually actively using it on your desk, or you're carrying it around with you. And that's Tracy. Tracy loves having a calendar you can carry around with you, and that makes sense for her because also she, like, her whole, I won't say her whole life is schedules, but she's a travel agent person, so she got to keep a calendar on deck around her, and she's just very organized. The way these feel, y'all, it's like last year's felt good. These feel like last year's definitely felt good. Like, I don't want to take anything away from last year's, but this year's is like soft touch. We got them printed at Smart Press, which is a local printer, which I didn't know was a local printer. I've used them before. I always liked how streamlined and premium all their stuff feels. And I just literally didn't even realize that they were in Minnesota as well. So that's actually a plus too, because say these really start to go and I'm like, oh snap, we need more. I ordered these. When I ordered these, I thought that it would take like at least 3 or 4 days for them to ship to me. Literally, I think it was like 3 or 4 days post, like saying final print, they were done. Like they were good, and they showed up at my door. Which I know is because I'm local. Like I'm very, very close. Hell, part of me thinks that they just dropped them. I could be wrong, but it's just like it was very quick and very efficient, and I don't know, I'm very impressed with their work. So in addition to the calendars will be linked, in addition to the calendars, we thought it would be fun to make stickers as well this year. So we got stickers for every sign that are broken down. So if you're like, I don't really like calendars like that, we got stickers, and we got bookmarks. We got 4 types of bookmarks. These are from Eco Print, I want to say. And hold on, they just sent me a card so I can make sure. Environ Print. They sent me a thank you note, which is very sweet. We also made bookmarks. I'm going to go ahead and round off half of these. Because I know some people like rounded corners. I actually like both. I'm cool with both. But these are pretty hard stock, soft touch. I wanted a soft touch bookmark. And they're matte. So like they are a little more dark muted, but I actually think it's nice in terms of the style of this type of artwork. And there's 4 versions. I broke the bookmarks down by Lord, I cannot talk today. I broke the bookmarks down by elements. So earth, air, fire, water. Little nugget. Meow. Hey Nugget. Say hi to the people. Say hi to, okay. Say hi to the people. Okay, well, bye then. Your little scram. Go ahead, subscribe. I don't know if you got through this whole video somehow, watching this, don't know who I am, and are just, casually looking to watch something. But if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to get these numbers up. All right. Bye.